All right, this is Geometry A, Unit 4, Lesson 1. We're talking about transformations. Transformation, trans meaning across, formation meaning forme or shape. So it literally means to change shape in some form or another. The first lesson that we're doing here deals with something called rigid transformations. Rigid transformations are transformations in which the shape does not really change in itself, it just changes location. Okay? That is, it remains the same shape. So the three types of rigid transformations are translation, in which you can think of it as a slide. One object slides to a new location. Doesn't spin, doesn't flip. Okay, a slide, translation. Then there's a reflection. You can think of that as a flip, where we think of a line that it flips over and it ends up facing the opposite direction. Okay? Every point is an equal distance away from the line of reflection, a flip, a reflection. And the final rigid transformation is called a rotation. You can think of that as a spin. Okay? So imagine taking a shape, putting a pin or a tack in the paper and then spinning the paper like 90 degrees here. Spin the paper 90 degrees and we end up with it up here. Okay? Spun 90 degrees. A spin, a rotation. We can look at these in the context of a graph. So I've brought up the GeoGebra graphing interface here. And we can bring up a polygon. All right, so let's do this. Let's move. Come on. It's still on point for some reason. And it's doing some things that I didn't expect. Major and minor grid lines, axes. There we go. Now it's behaving right. All right. So I'm going to draw a polygon with the polygon tool. And we're going to transform it. Okay. One of the easiest ones to do is a translation. So I'm going to select the Move tool, select the triangle, copy and paste. Control-C, Control-V, and I'm going to drag it. This is a translation down 3 units. Translation down. We can translate, instead of down 3 units, we can translate left 3 units. Left 3 units. Or we can combine it. Down 2 units and left 4 units. Okay. All of those are translations. Notice the orientation of the triangle doesn't change. That's a translation. Okay. Then there's a reflection. Reflection is where we have a line that we flip over. So think of the line as being between, say, these 2 points right here. Okay? And I'm going to reflect. So A is going to go 1 below instead of 1 above. C is going to go 2 below. Whoop. Try that again. Move. A is going to go 1 below instead of 1 above. C is going to go 2 below instead of 2 above. And B is going to go, instead of 4 above, 4 below. Okay? And probably the most common place you're going to see this is looking in a mirror. That's why it's called a reflection. You may see this in the reflection of a mountain on a lake, on a surface of water. That's a reflection. Okay. We can also rotate or spin. Think of putting a pin in the origin where the D is and spinning it. A is going to end up right over here. B, instead of being 5 right and 4 up, is going to be 4 left and 5 up. C, instead of being 7 right and 2 up, is going to be 2 left and 7 up. There we go. Make sure I did that right. Okay. And I'm going to do a little bit of a trick here. I'm going to do a screen capture. Okay, and the screen capture is Windows Shift S. It's a screen capture. There we go. And I'm going to drag a rectangle here. So from -8, 8 to +8, -8. So I drag a square here. There we go. And I'm going to paste. There we go. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to paste again. And I'm going to spin it. And I want you to see how the triangle on the right is going to match the one on the left, hopefully. Okay, kind of mark where it was. Spinning it. Okay, original. And spun. Okay. So you can spin. And those are our rigid transformations. We're going to explore those a lot more, playing with graphs and things of that nature. So you will want your graph paper and your straight edge this unit. Lots of graph paper and straight edge.